All right. I don't have anything, excuse me, to give you injury wise. I can tell you that the guys have all uh, worked through their interviews with me and had a chance to sit with them. We just finished that up, and that some of them are still working on their exit physicals, but I'll get all that information as we go here. As far as yesterday went, I don't feel any different than I did after the game. There's a bunch of things that we can learn from. It was good to get some of the young guys some play time, but other than that, it was you know we didn't play a great game for sure. So, but I feel like the future is bright. We've got a great nucleus of players coming back. We've had some injuries, but injuries that I think guys will come back strong from, and we look forward to getting going here and in this off season and getting ourselves right for this upcoming season. Very positive thoughts on that. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Let's go ahead and start with Jesse. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Sid, I'll have a follow-up too. Hey, Andy, as you review the offense this year, what parts of the scheme are you evaluating most closely as you look to improve for next season?
Yeah, but we'll go through and on it, Jesse, and we'll look at everything from plays called, which starts with me, and then all the way through the personnel and could we have put the guys in better position? Could we have made plays? So we look at every bit of a run and pass game and situationally all the different situations that you have, whether it's goal line, short yardage, whether it's third down, um, you know, red zone, all those things we try to knock out.
Great. And as you start the offseason review, I guess, how do you approach assessing the coaching staff, and do you expect any changes with your position coaches for next season?
Yeah, I haven't got that far. I literally, Jesse, I just got through, which is it's an obvious question though, but I just got through with these players and had a chance to meet with them, and then I'll step back here a minute and kind of go from there.
We'll go next to Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, good afternoon.
All right, Herbie.
Along those same lines, which is some similar to what Jesse asked you, and I know you're going to dive deeper into your after action reviews, deeper dives into that. But like on the surface, what went wrong this year, and what is the biggest lesson learned from the season that was?
Yeah, so Herbie, we had 10 or so games that were determined by, 7 points or less, one score. And so, and those were the seven we won last year. Well, why? You got to go back and you look at penalties in crucial situations, turnover in crucial situations, those things. You got to really evaluate those and the whys of that. And drop balls and long drives, including everybody, the end of game drives that you could have either scored on or were scored on, or special teams put you in a position. You got to look at all those things. And so that's part of the evaluation process going into the offseason. Make sure we narrow that thing up and make sure we're on the right end of it.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell.
Thanks, Sid. I'll have a couple too, if I could. Andy, when you look at the passing game, how much do you think the lack of effectiveness you guys had running the football affected just your ability to pass and what you saw from defenses this year?
Yeah, so you always go to your play action game, Sam, and you look at it and you check to see what kind of reaction you're getting from the defense. And that normally, if you get a reaction, then you're putting those guys in recovery mode, which normally opens up the middle of the field for you in a decent way. So we're not getting enough reaction out of them. So however you take that, that could be because of the run game. It could be because of the action that we're showing. But there wasn't enough respect there that needs to be given. So we've got to run the ball more efficient, especially on first or second down, on those run downs, in those run situations. Just stay positive with that. Somewhere you'd like to have a few bigger plays in that area,
Yeah.
not 3-4 yards. You want every once in a while you need to hit on a few. And so I would say that there's a part of it for that. There's a part of it we can look at the action that we're giving the guys, and are we executing right? Are we giving them the right things to execute? So on.
Thanks. And the second one I wanted, obviously the reports out there that Matt Nagy's been requested to be interviewed in Tennessee. You probably haven't gotten this far, but I wonder if you do have to replace an offensive coordinator, will you prioritize something familiar with your system, I mean, or is there a desire to look for something different?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't get into that right now, Sam, but that's again, these are logical questions. I've got great guys on the staff here. Uh, Joe Blaymeyer. I mean, you name some of the guys. I mean, you can go down the list, but we've got some qualified guys here. I know qualified guys out there too. So that I've got trust in both places. So, but I haven't got that far. Neither is Nags. So we'll just see where all this goes, and we got a lot of time on that. They can't even interview him in person until the 19th. So
Yeah.
it's I'm not like rushing here. So
And we'll go next to Matt Derrick.
Hey, Coach, I had one quick question about the game yesterday. Late on that third, before the third down play, you called the timeout. Could you go into the thought process there? Was that just to get a look at the play or just settle everything down?
yeah, I'll probably settle it down for you and then put them in a different mode. So, but yeah, that's why I used it there.
And you mentioned you finishing up the player interviews and exit interviews. We've seen at least one player, earlier a couple of weeks ago, sending out messages on social media that get interpreted as their time coming into an end to Kansas City. And NFL Network just used the word that you're expecting a substantial reboot this offseason. I mean, does that fit with what you think you expect Brett will be kind of pursuing this offseason?
I don't know about all that, Matt. I didn't hear that, but I'm trusting that you're saying what they said. We'll do what's necessary to make ourselves better, is what I can tell you, and we'll take every measures that we feel are right. We'll take, and we do that through intense evaluation, and so that's how we've tried to address everything, and we won't change that as we go into it.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
And we'll go to Pete next. Go ahead, Pete.
Sid, I'll have a second if I could. Was curious. I know that Travis is still deciding, Coach, but I was wondering if you guys have had conversations about a reasonable timetable, one way or the other, to allow you guys to pivot, if he is leaving, or work on a deal if he does want to continue to play.
Yeah, we'll get to all that, Pete. Right now, we're not only were we finishing the season, but you got a little bit of time before all that stuff really needs to take place, and we're. I'm not trying to avoid your question here, but that's what's real right now, and I know everybody wants the answer right this minute, but it's something that you got to go through. There are a lot of variables there, but we all love Trav, so I mean we know that, and Trav could still play, and I'm not questioning that part or any of it. So I'm not trying to avoid your question. I just know there's time. It's a little bit the same way we looked last year. I got asked kind of the same thing, and you got a little bit of time there to figure everything out. So does Trav. So I mean, he's got it buys everybody a little bit of time.
Thank you. And then as much as you would be willing to reveal, just the offseason plan for Patrick Mahomes, as far as will he be away in Dallas or
Sure.
whatever you're willing to kind of say that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete. First of all, he's doing great for just being 3 weeks out or so, and he'll go ahead and most likely stay up here for the majority of the time, rehabbing He and Julie, she's the person that does all that RPT, um, and so he has a lot of trust in her, and he's been just in there grinding. I mean, that's what I can tell you. And I think that'll just continue till we get started again. Not that he won't take a break here or there, but right now he's in that early process where you got to really hit it hard, and it's not necessarily a fun thing to do every day. But the important thing is that you show up, Pete, and that you keep coming back for more, and he's been doing that.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Todd Lebo.
Hey, Coach, a couple of quick things. Number one, I know we've seen these reports that Matt Nagy, I guess the Tennessee has reached out to see if it's okay to talk to him. Seen another report that maybe they'd reached out about Spags. Are there other coaches that organizations have reached out that they'd like to talk to that you can tell us about?
No, I think I'm sure those guys will get play. That's I get it. I mean, that's part of this, and um, it's a tribute to them. So no, I don't have anything else to tell you. Yeah, what was your other one?
Um, with the off season, and Pete was just kind of talking about that. Have you thought about, is phase one going to be different? You're going to bring the guys back? I mean, with the kind of uncertainty you have at quarterback right now?
Yeah, so I probably need to explain that a little bit for you there, Todd. I know you know, but for the people listening, so none of that is mandatory other than the mandatory minicamp and then the rookie minicamp that takes place after the draft. But there's one mandatory minicamp. The rest of it's voluntary. We will do phase one. And the players know that, and they have the dates and so on. They've got the calendar, and so. But again, that's a voluntary thing, and you know, that's where we're at with it. Yeah.
We'll go ahead and close it out. We've got 4 left. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. Just curious, in the exit interview, was there anything in particular you wanted to get across to the guys? And along with that, what in particular might you have taken in from the guys in the process?
Yeah. So if I probably should tell you that we had a team meeting before the interview, so I was able to get my points across to them there. Try to be as direct as I possibly could with them, knowing that part of the room won't be coming back, but at the same time, making sure that they understood expectations and going forward. So we were able to talk about that. Then I could meet with them individually and talk about individual thoughts and also listen to what they have to say. So if they have any comments.
I imagine that the tone of the group meeting was different than it's been the last few years. Might you be able to share a little bit of what you really wanted them to take away?
Yeah, the thing I took away was a little bit what I mentioned yesterday after after the game, and I've kind of sensed that as we've been going through this. But that core players, those core veteran players, and the core group, some of them are younger guys too, that um, they were very focused on figuring out the problems and not excusing themselves from it, taking accountability, and then making sure we fix it to go forward.
Thanks, Andy.
Yep.
We'll go next to Nate Taylor.
I have 2 questions as well. Andy, when it comes to the quarterback position, I know you've always valued a veteran. Just what were you hoping to try to sort of target when it comes to having a quarterback that can obviously get the offense through the offseason program while Patrick rehabs?
Yeah, so we had brought Gardner in to do that, and unfortunately, he got hurt on that, early in that game. But we had a ton, and still have a ton of confidence that he can do that. Now he was only here for a year, and that was what his contract was. But that type of player is what you want in that position, and somebody that's won games in the league, and at the same time understands his role and handles himself right in the room becomes an important thing. Yeah.
And secondly, when you look at your guys' pass rush this year, just where do you feel like you guys have to improve when you look at the way the group performed this season and obviously looking towards the offseason and where you guys feel like you have to improve most of that in that area?
Yeah, so we had a pretty good thing going before our young guy got banged up in there. As far as him coming on and being able to rush the passer, he gave us a little flexibility in there. But we need the couple of the young guys just to continue to grow, and I think we will have a chance to be pretty good in there. You're always looking to improve though, in both lines, and you want to make sure those are strong for you.
Go next to Matt McMullen.
Hey, Coach. Talking about the young guys and specifically the guys that got to play a little bit over the last few weeks, what was your message to them today about kind of carrying that momentum into the offseason now?
Yeah, so this class is the only class that hasn't really had success, and so they haven't experienced that part of it, and so it's important that they, when they left here, that they understood, Matt, that uh, really what needs to be taken care of, and try to make that as crystal clear as you can to them, and at the same time to the coaches and the people that were in the room there. And not that we haven't talked to them about it before, or I haven't talked to them about it before, but that I reinforce it, that these are the expectations. This is a ceiling that we want to keep ourselves at, and anything less isn't acceptable. So that's yeah, that's what they can bring to the table here as we go forward.
Okay, our last one, Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Andy, just trying to get a feel for your evaluation process. I mean, do you consider the offseason the best time to modify what you want to accomplish offensively? Is it more difficult in season?
No, I would tell you, if you're doing a wholesale change, I'd probably tell you that the off season is better than
Yeah.
during the season. But if you're just trying to better yourself, you should be doing that throughout.
Do you consider you guys right now, as you look at the big picture, more of the latter, more just of the just trying to get better?
Yeah, I think so. I think putting people in the right position and making sure we stay relatively healthy there, I think is important. And don't take things away from yourself. And so whether it's a play call that you give a guy, can you put him in a better position? Or second, are you taking something away from yourself with a turnover or penalty? I mean, it's all of us looking at that. But, you're still looking at an offense that was one of the top 10 offenses in the league, if you take everything into consideration there. So you're not that far off. You got to get a couple of things bouncing your way and make sure you take care of that.
That's all we have, Coach.
Okay, good. Thank you.